Okay, it is 7:30 p.m. on this December 19th, 2024. I am going to call this special meeting into session. I am also taking notes here for minutes. So I'll do a quick roll call. Trustee Alter.
Yep.
Trustee Shuddig.
Here.
Trustee Hanselman.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Ryan.
Here.
Mayor Allen is present. We are absent Trustee Sauer and Trustee Walreed. Okay. So the purpose of this meeting tonight is solely focused on preparing our Restore New York Communities Initiative Municipal Grant that we are going to be finishing the application of tomorrow, which is good because it's due tomorrow like 5 or something like that. We've put a lot of work into this, and I do want to put on the record a huge thank you to Megan Albert, who noted that there were a couple things that we had to get done that we had mostly done in previous rounds when we went for this, especially in round 7, but we wanted to make sure we have it right and did it right. So, without further ado, we had noticed earlier that we were going to have a public hearing. So at this point, at 7:31, we are going to open the public hearing. This public hearing, as it was noticed, is in regards to the Round 9 Restore New York application, for which a municipality has to submit. And we have one project that we are submitting for, and that is the specialty building by Repurposeful LLC and Jason Von Guinness. With this notice that went out, we also put out this Restore New York property assessment list. And this municipalities have the option to do a handful of properties to apply for it. We're just doing this one. The project name is One Center, of course, after the location, 1 Center Street. It's a 2,100 square foot property. It's currently vacant in a zoning for mixed use, and the proposal is for it to be rehabbed into a mixed use commercial and residential location. When we had submitted our letter of intent a while back, which I have up here on the screen, we did have some information here, and we summarized the project. I want to just kind of read the summary, most of the summary. One Center plans to be the 4th successful Village of Hoosick Falls rehab project by Jason Von Guinness, offering mixed-use commercial and residential opportunities to further support the village's local economy and downtown culture. It will provide incubator spaces at fixed rates per commercially occupied space, with 2 or 3 spaces already set, planned for a locally owned brewery and a gym/fitness center. It will also provide affordable, essential apartments to the downtown area, with 2-bedroom and 1-bedroom units renting for $1,000 a month and $800 a month respectively. This mixed-use development will take approximately 12 months to complete. One Center will highlight the importance of sustainability and community resilience, featuring the work of New York carpenters, utilizing upcycled materials whenever possible, and utilizing renewable energy sources like solar panels on the pitch roof. It does go on to explain that this was included in the New York Forward process, of which the final list of projects that are available for funding is the Strategic Investment Plan. That has been submitted. This was not only on it, but it had, I think, some of the highest ratings for the types of goals that we're looking for. So I have a load of documents if we need to bring them up, but at this point, because we're going to be considering a resolution tonight in support of it, and because we have the public hearing, I do want to turn it over to the public to see if they have any comments that they want to make regarding this application. So, members of the public, would anyone like to speak this evening?
What exactly does upcycle mean? Is that like a form of recycle?
Yeah, I mean, I take old stuff and make it look great, like repurposing things.
Oh, I just never heard the term upcycle.
Yeah.
Everybody
Well,
uses that word.
Make old things new again.
I love it.
Yeah.
Your house is a lot of that.
It is a lot. When you have an old house, you find stuff everywhere. Old shutters and...
Alright, trustees, do you guys have any questions for Jason?
Jason, this is the same thing from last year, that they just reopened another round. The same
exactly.
thing. No, it's great. Cool.
Yeah. Wow.
We're taking
Is there
Compressor.
any, yeah, you're gonna fly away. Is there any other parts of this you want to summarize? Anything you want me to put up on the screen just so people can see it?
No, I mean, I think we've been over it enough to where everybody's pretty familiar with it. The only thing that's not really changed from last time as much as kind of facilitating this is that, you know, it did do really well in New York forward.
Yeah.
And you know, it was one of the one or two most popular projects. It went on to the next round. It's in the state's hands now. I feel super comfortable that that's going to work out. Real optimistic about it. So that'll be essentially like a first phase of it to get like the property stabilized, get the roof on, all the windows done, all the masonry done. So now there's like a nice tight envelope, and it'll also, the New York Forward will provide those 2 commercial spaces to be done. And then this is kind of loosely like a phase 2, where all the residential comes into play, is these monies from Restore New York.
Now, you said the zoning board approved it years ago.
They did.
Yes.
Yeah, I was at a meeting with Don Bradley, Ann Bort, and the letter I have is from Ann Bort, and
Yeah, I have that
I
letter.
reached out and asked to, because I thought I remembered Aaron being there.
Well, here's the thing, it's kind of last minute, and he works full-time, and he has to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, sure.
So, he doesn't have time to write it at this late date. I wrote it. It doesn't matter who writes it.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
So,
Thank you for doing that, Deb.
the message I got was that you needed a letter that said the zoning was okay for that. But what he told me was that he didn't know that this was going back to the old zoning when he was asked to write that letter.
Yeah. I guess I should have.
So,
Told
he
him
was
that?
thinking of it in present tense when he's on the planning board. Okay, so I spent the afternoon writing a short letter, I write slowly. And, we thought that, our understanding from the messages that we got was that we wanted to make sure it was okay for zoning, but it's I mean, the zoning board made it, and I don't know how this works. I don't know who overrides what, but the zoning laws say that can't be there. Zoning laws say it's in a commercial industrial district, this is what Aaron's explaining to me, I don't read these things. So, he says that you cannot have residences in a commercial industrial zone.
Which is why
So-
I didn't.
So,
Right.
the thing is, when you say he approved it, that it was approved,
Well, the
was
zoning
it,
board approved
can I
it.
finish please? Was it approved, or did you get a variance for it? I mean, what, I wasn't in, so what happened, I don't know what, obviously there's no records, right, so.
This
So,
is.
Okay, wait, I'm still speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you
I'm
wanted that
still
answer.
speaking, thank you.
Nope.
So, what we did was we put our heads together and I wrote a letter about how, if you look at the zoning code, because if they do, it's gonna say it shouldn't be there, and nor should any of the other departments in that zone, right?
Yeah.
So, what are we gonna do? He doesn't wanna lie, I don't blame him, but we support the project, so we want this to work. So, what we did was we came up with a letter that said, and it's not what you needed, but this is what we did. And I don't know what you want to do with it. Okay, I have to find it. Hold on. Dear whoever, 1 Center Street, Hoosick Falls is located in a commercial industrial zone that currently does not allow for mixed residential use. However, it is changing as we only have a small number of businesses that need that kind of zoning. I have no idea. We have one factory, right?
Yeah.
We are not the industry factory center that we once were. Now, what the community needs is more housing and space for small, non-industrial businesses. In fact, there are several residences sorry, I didn't correct my spelling, so I can't read it. In this neighborhood, and there have been residents living in this industrial zone for some time. Because of the current demographic changes and land use needs, village board, planning board, and zoning boards have already been looking at the changes to the current zoning codes that need to be made in order to make our village sustainable and a great place to live and work. Mr. Von Guinness's project at 1 Center Street will easily fit into the kind of mixed-use zone that we are looking to create in that part of the village of Hoosick Falls. So we did it without him saying, so I don't know what to do about the other piece.
Okay. I think we just submit them all. I mean, you took time to write a letter, and that's.
Yeah, we can submit it, but you don't have 2 letters in here, so what about the other letter?
Well, I think what Rob has here is he wants to.
This was back in 2016, when this was presented with initial drawings, and the board found the following as legally permitted uses. So he has the residential units, he has the different space that's available. I mean, it shifted a little bit since then, but this is what was approved a long, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scroll that much. A long time ago, and there's no problem, Deb, with us including this letter historically old
But do you need
and the
another
one
letter? That's what I
you've
mean.
written.
You need,
I think
per
that's
person, well, I don't know what's in there, so.
Don't you have more, aren't you proposing more units than that though, Jason, or was it 12?
18, right, Jason? Did you say?
14.
14.
14.
Oh, so
It's
you
kind
made
of
it
it's
update.
kind of bounced a little bit, and it's the distribution of which part of it falls under New York Forward and Restore New York has also been a fun little tightrope.
Sorry.
Deb, to
The
your
other- the
point.
other- the
Oh,
other
sorry.
thing- The other piece of it is that our zoning codes are so bad, and we don't have a comprehensive plan. So we don't wanna raise any red flags for anybody come looking at us, why we're such a mess, because that's, you know, like that's.
Yes. Outdated. I like to use the word outdated.
Just
All
right.
of that progress to put all that stuff together was supposed to be the first step, and literally PFOA happened right when that step was
Yeah, no,
concluding.
I know there are all
Um,
reasons, I just don't wanna raise any.
Sure, no, we
Because in the training that I went to, they said, we should have them, by law, we're supposed to have all that stuff.
have what
Comprehensive
stuff.
plan?
A comprehensive plan.
We sort of have a comprehensive plan, but it needs to be updated and retooled.
Okay, and we need to know what it
Yes.
is so that we can write our laws
Yes.
that go along with it.
So I mean, we have the bare minimum, but I don't think anyone is satisfied with what we have and it needs to be updated. We never wanted to put anyone in a spot where they were writing something that wasn't true. That was not the intention. As we were going through these various requirements, we just noticed that was something we needed, and we were concerned that this letter was so old that we wanted something newer and fresh. I will simply submit both of them together, and that will be, I think, more than enough.
I'll email it to you in the morning.
Sure, thank you.
Does it need to be on a letterhead? Cause I don't.
Let me check my notes on that.
Or if I send it, can Judy or Debbie do that in the office?
I can also put it on letterhead, that's no problem.
Cause you don't have other things to do.
I don't have other things to do, that's right. That was a joke. Give me 1 second to find my notes on this, cause I had a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, thanks for writing it. I had no idea you were writing anything until you just walked in.
No,
Yeah.
that's
So,
nice.
thank you.
Yeah,
That's okay.
No, yeah, that's all good, and this was something that just kind of fell on the radar recently, and that's my mistake on being late on going through all the details on this. I think that will suffice. When we're done with the meeting, I'm gonna sit with Jason and go through all the various stuff that we have done and still need to do, so. Yeah, anything else you guys, anyone else wanted to speak? Board,
I'm just excited to see this project.
general public?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I appreciate everybody's effort, like showing up and taking time to, you know, we all have different things to do right now. I know that. but
No,
thank
it's
you
not
for-
Christmas.
It's,
Pretty
no,
close.
I mean, this is
it's a critical project.
It is.
Huge.
It is.
It's gonna change downtown.
It will, and the timeliness of this, we can't let it go much longer, because if we do, it may get to the point where you can't salvage it.
Right.
And
Yes,
that was
exactly.
If there was
so
a master eyesore in the village, that one probably would get the blue ribbon, I mean, that's, you know,
Yeah.
its current form, so.
Yeah,
There's a few of them.
yeah,
Just being
That
so
was a-
big and in
I
the
was
large-
the worst, she's bad.
on a large scale that.
Which is not like right on Church Street.
Alright, so I just wanna give one more opportunity for anyone to speak, should they want to. Alright, hearing
So,
none, I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll move.
Alright, Dan and Bobby, further discussion, all in favor of closing the public hearing? Aye, opposed or abstentions carries. Public hearing is closed at 7:44 p.m. And now, I'd like to bring a resolution up for the record, which is actually also part of the requirements for the application. So I'll be finishing this up tonight. Okay, this is a resolution authorizing the application process for round 9 of the Restore New York Communities Initiative Municipal Grant Program. I'm gonna skip over some of the whereas, cause I kinda did that in my introduction to this evening in the public hearing. It states that one project, 1 Center Street, Jason Von Guinness through Purposeful LLC. The description that we used in the letter of intent was incorporated here, and whereas this project is consistent with all existing local plans, the proposed financing is appropriate for the project. The project will facilitate effective and efficient use of existing and future public resources so as to promote both economic development and preservation of community resources. and the project develops and enhances infrastructure and or other facilities in a manner that will attract, create, and sustain employment opportunities and provide additional housing opportunities in the village of Hoosick Falls. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Village of Hoosick Falls in, I should say, special session, convene as follows. I'll change that on the final one. Number one, the Village of Hoosick Falls Board of Trustees hereby supports and will sponsor an application for Restore New York funding for 1 Center Street, Hoosick Falls, New York 12090, and will administer the grant in accordance with all applicable rules and regulations established by Empire State DC. And the mayor is hereby authorized to sign the application and any agreements required by ESDC for grant funding that results from the application. I'm gonna make one change in special session. Alright, need someone
make
to
it.
introduce it,
I make it.
and then you'll second it, okay. Alright, give me 1 second. And alright, roll call vote. Trustee Alter,
Yes.
Trustee Hanselman,
Yes.
Trustee Shuddick,
Yes.
Trustee Sauer is absent, Trustee Walreed is absent, Mayor Allen is a yes, and Deputy Mayor Ryan
Yes.
is a yes. The foregoing resolution was adopted. Alright, that's all I have for the agenda, unless you guys have anything else, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Thank you, by everybody. All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed or abstentions? Carries. We are adjourned at 7:47 PM. Thank you all.